This is my Roland FP-30X, and in this video I will review it and tell you what I love about it and where it falls short. I will also demo as many of the inbuilt voices as I can in this video. The Roland FP-30X comes with an 88 keys fully weighted graded hammer action with a simulated escapement mechanism, which in my opinion is one of the best replications of a grand piano's action at this price point. I can feel a slight bump when the keys are pressed halfway down, just like how the jack on an acoustic grand piano disconnects from its knuckle. You will not get this feature on any other digital piano at this price point. The textured key tops are also well implemented, unlike Yamaha, which has smooth glossy keys, and Casio with their over-the-top key textures. The keys on the Roland FP-30X helps me keep my fingers planted even after extended practice makes my hands a little sweaty. Although this piano comes with 6 velocity curves, the default touch response suited me perfectly, unlike those from Casio, which I had to tweak as the keys were a little too lightly sprung. Quiet pianissimo trills on my FP-30X over here were also not an issue due to the triple key sensors. If you need more information and updated prices on this digital piano, as well as my list of recommended pianos, music gear, and learning apps, you should check out the video description below. The most important tone on any digital piano is the default grand piano patch. This is, after all, first and foremost a digital piano. Psychoacoustics play a huge part in determining if you prefer a certain tonal quality and color of a piano sound over another. As I tend to play more solo jazz ballads and romantic era classical music, the mellow and warm tone of Roland's Supernatural piano patch resonates with me better than Yamaha's brighter and crisper CFX and CFS piano tones. Roland also does not dampen the samples on the higher registers, which is accurately implemented just like on an acoustic piano. With Roland's Piano Designer app, which connected effortlessly via Bluetooth on my Android phone, I could make endless tweaks to the many piano parameters such as lid position, string resonance, damper resonance, as well as key of resonance. The Piano Designer app also let me easily change between various tuning temperaments to suit the music I was playing. For the most demanding OCD classical pianist, the Piano Designer app even allows you to change the tuning, character, and volume of each and every single key. This is a micro level of configurability that I will never use, but it is there if you need it. My only gripe about the Piano Designer app is the interface. The GUI is developed by an engineer instead of a UX/UI designer. It is functional but totally devoid of aesthetics and character. I am a sucker for beautiful things, and this bothered me. I do wish all these piano sound editing can be done on the piano itself without going through an app, just like on the Yamaha DGX-670, but alas, this is not the case. Roland curated the 56 inbuilt tones on the FP-30X for a keys player. More than half the tones are acoustic pianos, electric pianos, harpsichords, vibraphones, clavinets, strings, and organs. The remaining tones are a mixture of very usable pad and synth sounds suitable for voice layering and keyboard splits. But 56 tones pale in comparison with the similarly priced Korg XE20 and Yamaha DGX-670, which comes with more than 600 sounds. One can argue that those are arranger pianos, but frankly, in this day and age, that line is quickly blurring. If you're interested to find out more about the Korg XE20 and Yamaha DGX-670 and its prices, you can check out the video description below. Thankfully, the volume mix of the voice layers can be adjusted, although in a rather clunky manner with a contorted combination of button and key presses. I hate that there is no LCD screen and a scroll wheel to make selecting and mixing sounds easier. You will need to print a copy of the voice chart for reference, as there is no indication on the piano itself. The Alesis Recital Pro at half the price comes with an LCD screen and a data wheel, and I wish Roland didn't sacrifice these to cut cost. Although Roland provides the Piano Everyday app to make selecting sounds easier with the touchscreen of your mobile phone, the app is massively buggy. The app crashes often, takes at least a minute to connect to Roland's server before it will connect to the piano, and the UI has many missing text labels. The app has a user rating of just a measly 2 stars on the App Store, which frankly is a lot more generous than what I would rate it. I absolutely hated using the app but was forced to use it as there are so many functions only available through the app. Interesting features such as backing rhythms with auto accompaniment and chord detection only works within the app itself. With the app, you can also access an additional 127 general MIDI tones, which you can play with on the keyboard. The poorly implemented lesson function is also only available on the Roland app and not on the piano itself. I would suggest you use the learning apps I recommend in the video description below instead, and save yourself the frustration of learning to play with Roland's Piano Everyday app. The quality of the piano and electric piano samples are above average for what you pay for. Well, it should be. This is, after all, a piano-focused keyboard. However, the rest of the sounds are from Roland's pretty dated sound library and are nothing worth writing home for. Although the FP-30X supports voice layering, you are restricted to only certain combinations. Voices are stored in 3 buttons, the piano, electric piano, and others group, and you cannot layer 2 voices contained in the same button. There is no way to layer, for example, a vibraphone and an organ because they are contained in the same voice group triggered by the same button. For the majority of those who buy the FP-30X purely for using to play piano pieces using the default piano voice 99% of the time, I doubt it will be a deal breaker. But for intermediate keyboardists and those who intend to gig with it, should note this limitation. You should also note that while the default grand piano tone can be tweaked in infinite ways, you can only alter the reverb and brilliance on the rest of the sounds on the FP-30X. For certain sounds such as some organs and electric pianos, Roland decides the amount of rotary effect and modulation applied to the patches, and you have no control over this effect applied or whether the effect can be turned on or off. I have links in the description to my list of recommended pianos if you want to make more detailed comparison between different brands and models of pianos. The FP-30X supports a triple pedal system for soft sostenuto and half pedal damper function, which is great for classical and jazz pianists. However, one caveat is that the triple pedal system must be attached together with the wooden furniture stand, unlike those on Casio's digital pianos where the triple pedal system is portable and can be used without a wooden stand. For those who do not get the wooden stand, you can only use a single sustain pedal. Thankfully, the single sustain pedal jack supports half pedaling with Roland's optional DP10 pedal, which not every competing brand supports at this price point. I do not like the master volume controls on the FP-30X. Instead of a regular rotary knob to adjust the master volume, Roland uses 2 buttons and 5 LEDs to control and indicate the volume level. The problem is you have no exact way to know what volume you are at because there are at least 90 incremental volume steps, but just 5 LED indicators. How do I know that there are 90 volume steps? Yes, I counted. The Roland FP-30X over here comes with a pair of 12cm speakers powered via a 22 watts amplifier. Compared to other digital pianos in this price range, these speakers are the most powerful, and Roland tuned this well. The low frequency bass notes and high frequency treble notes are clear, warm, and solid. There is no distortion or buzzing noises even at high volume levels. Roland has added an option for you to configure the speaker EQ depending if you are using the FP-30X on your desk or with a stand. You can also choose to independently turn on or off the speakers regardless if you are using headphones. This is a useful feature that should be standard on all keyboards, but it isn't. The previous generation FP-30 is a keyboard you can gig with. The problem though is that it doesn't have a pair of 1/4-inch stereo outputs for you to connect to a PA system. The upgraded FP-30X finally gets a well-deserved pair of 1/4-inch stereo outputs. The line output is crisp, clear, and has a low noise floor, and that is what I'm using to record the demos in this video you're watching. The Roland FP series is one of the early adopters of Bluetooth audio, and it is well implemented. It is easy to use the inbuilt speakers of the piano as Bluetooth speakers, I only had to pair it once with my mobile phone, and both the piano and my phone connected instantly whenever I turned on my FP-30X. What is disappointing though is Roland didn't implement a two-way Bluetooth audio protocol. You can wirelessly send audio to the piano, but you cannot send audio wirelessly from the piano to a pair of Bluetooth speakers. There are now many powerful and portable Bluetooth speakers for buskers and church worship groups, and the ability to connect these Bluetooth amplifiers would have been useful. While the FP-30X can play back audio and MIDI files stored on a USB stick, in my opinion, the wireless Bluetooth audio is a far superior option, with many third-party apps being able to manipulate audio backing tracks to fit your performance. There are two headphones jack on the front of the FP-30X nearer to the player. This is the position I prefer versus the rear, no pun intended. So what's so special about this pair of headphones jack? Most digital pianos now come with two headphone jacks. Roland has very thoughtfully made the headphones jack to be of two different sizes. One of the jack is 3.5mm and the other is 1/4 inch. Now I don't have to worry if my headphones plug is the correct size. The built-in, easy-to-use song recorder is great for sketching out musical ideas quickly. As the FP-30X has wireless Bluetooth MIDI, there isn't really a need for a more sophisticated multi-track recorder. You can wirelessly connect your FP-30X to many free mobile DAW apps such as GarageBand and BandLabs for complex music production instead. This digital piano is pretty lightweight for an 88 keys weighted keyboard and is marketed to be portable, where you can bring it everywhere and practice on it anytime. I am often away from a wall outlet and do wish that the FP-30X has an option to be operated via batteries or a rechargeable power bank like the Korg and Casio pianos. One can argue that because these speakers are more powerful, battery operation is not feasible. Roland could have limited the speaker output or even allow only headphones operations when used with batteries, but this isn't the case. I have links in the description to more information about the Korg and Casio pianos, which can be battery operated, and you can make your own comparison. Smash that like button if you found my experience with this Roland FP-30X to be useful in your purchasing decision. My name is Jeremy C, and I'll see you soon.